Hi, and welcome to the Sabbath Christian Church's online sermon. God chooses people. He does not force people to do good or to do evil. He allows people to choose Him. Otherwise, they'd just be slaves. They wouldn't be made in His image to do what they want to do, and not just what they have to do. Because He is the Lord, and people must decide to choose Him. He says you can consecrate yourselves and choose Him and be holy, and God will help. He'll test and do all the things necessary to be holy, because God's holy. He says, and don't make yourself unclean, but you have to choose. Don't do any of those other things. Water cleansed people, cleansed the earth, because of Noah, who chose God, to do God's way, to keep God's laws. And he washed away the filth of the earth, who chose not. They weren't enslaved, but they didn't live either. And the same thing with Israel when they crossed the Red Sea and Egypt followed them, and then God let the water loose and cleansed that evil away, just He cleansed the evil away from the people of Noah's times. The unclean person shall be cleaned. He shall decide to wash his clothes and bathe himself and be clean. But the man who's unclean will not purify himself. He will not do these things. He's defiled the sanctuary in and around the temple, and the water has not been sprinkled on him because he does not want to be clean. He has chosen to go against God, and God won't enslave him. They're corrupt? Okay, bye-bye. No one that does any good is going to continue to live. But he's not going to be forced to choose God either, and may get an opportunity to change his mind way later on. So God gives them over to the stubbornness of their heart. Can you think of a better word than stubbornness of their heart? To walk in their own devices? He gave them over to what they wanted. Now Solomon observed in the very beginning some of the things which he wrote down about that going on. He says, I called you and you refused. I stretched out your hand and no one paid any attention. You neglected all my counsel. God gave them every chance to change, Solomon observed. And they did not want God's reproach. And God will mock them when dread comes. Like a storm. Deserved. Calamity comes like a whirlwind. Part of the storm. And distress and anguish comes upon them. Then they will call on me. I won't answer. They're not really calling on them. They don't like what's going on. That doesn't mean they're going to change. Just, oh, that's terrible. I'm going to... Yeah, right. Tell me another story. He says, they'll seek Him, but not find Him, because they really don't want to. They hate knowledge. They don't choose the fear of the Lord. They won't accept His conference. They spurned all His reproof, Solomon points out. So they eat the fruit of their own way, not to put on a show and pretend, and be satiated with their own devices, and the waywardness of their naivete will kill them. The complacency of fools will destroy them. no matter how much they pretend. But he who listens, Solomon concludes, to God shall live securely and won't have to worry about the evil. The righteous will hold his way, he says. He who has clean hands will grow stronger and stronger. And God has given freely to the poor, as Father David points out. His righteousness endures forever. And they say at that time, keep your law continually. I will keep your law continually, forever and forever. Some history here in Romans, it says that to be uninformed of the mystery, so they will not be wise in your own estimation. A partial hardening has happened to Israel until the fullness of the Gentile comes in. God lets it in because he's not going to enslave them, and he wants people to be tested and know they can be overcome because he can help in a way the people that don't trust and believe in him can. Jude says, now to him who is able to keep you from stumbling, he is able to do it if you choose him, to make you stand in the presence of his glory with great joy. He is the one that makes it possible for those that trust, believe in him, and want to be holy like him from the heart. And Revelation says, let him who does no wrong, the one who is filthy still be filthy, and the one who is righteous still practice righteousness. The one who is holy still keeps himself holy with God's help and power. Amen. And thank you for watching and listening.